what are some of your favorite pieces of Love Life merch? We're talking acrylics, stickers, those pop-up figure things. I still don't know the exact term for these, please forgive me. Now I have a bunch of merch, including those I just stated, along with other things, such as books. This one's my personal favorite. It's literally a compilation of the Dengeki magazine articles that Love Life started with, before they mainly switched off to Love Life days and the like. You may have noticed a slight absence, though, in the showcasing of merch, one that Love Life fans and non-Love Life fans would know just from one glance. Okay, this one's a little bit too huge. Now, I've already kind of made a similar video on this topic with my Life with Terra Nesoberi video, so I apologize if some things are a bit reiterated, but we're going to be taking a different approach to this conversation. One that, get this, revolves around the entire Love Life series and how they expand and increase their diversity. You're likely starting to get a visual idea of what I'm getting at, but what do I fully mean? Stick around for 10 more seconds. Let's do a quick recap though, for those that haven't watched my Nesoberi video. It has been a year after all. I won't say this definitively, but if you think of Love Life and its physical presence in merch, chances are a Nesoberi might start forming in your head. Those soulless lying down poses that every Love Life fan had, with a usually accurate depiction of the character they're attempting to replicate. Sometimes it's not perfect, but we ball. Officially starting in 2015, even though Nesoberis did technically exist in the merch scene, Sega has been at the upfront in terms of producing these cute little babies. These range from small keychains to the medium size you're likely accustomed to, and the big giant one. Okay, recap over. Every Love Life fan has at least one Nesoberi, often of the one they love and adore the most. It's really weird from my experience. It's either you own just one, or you own a shit ton of them. Not to classify it as you aren't a true fan if you don't have a Nesoberi, but it was kind of one of the defining aspects of being a Love Life fan. You know, besides liking the music and idol groups and all that jazz. It's kind of amazing how timeless the design is. Not much revisions had to be made for the Nesoberi design. It's literally a pit crew template. Their position also makes them easy to place anywhere without falling. Compare that with a normal plushie, which can never stay still. And it wasn't enough to create one version of a Nesoberi. Love Life was famous for its outfits. Oh wait, there is actually no Cyber Nessa version. Oh. But alterations for the characters were endless money, especially for later groups like Aqua. New movie just came out, change the outfits, change the sizes, and you're golden. Now wait till someone robs 10 of them and starts attaching it to their Ida bag. There was something special about Nesoberis, and those of you who watched my original video on Nesoberis know that I have a very strong attachment to them, both in how I got them and also the types of nests I have. Oh yeah, I got another one too. Welcome to Mia Taylor Terra Nesso, featuring the worst cut I've ever seen, the better school idol outfit, and a more hip attitude than cost me. I was very lucky and very fortunate to get this Nesso, but then I realized something. Hell yeah, I got a Nijigasaki Terra. These Terras are kind of rare, especially for older ones like Muse. I wonder if they have any for Leela or Hospice. Oh my. Now, this next section will be worded very carefully as I do tend to exaggerate certain ideas. For the record, no, Nessas aren't dead, let's get that clear. But I do want to have a conversation regarding the presence of Nesoberis in today's world of Love Life. Terra Nessos not being produced for the other groups doesn't mean Nessos are dead, obviously. The Terras were already expensive as shit and rare in quantity, but it gave way to a conversation about them. It may just be me, but I've noticed the presence of Nesoberis either in discussions or images dwindling slightly, and it got me thinking. Was it an actual logical thing that Nesoberis were washed and weren't being made anymore, or maybe the social status of it was lowering? Nesoberis have been around for over a decade now, and does such a concept like staleness exist with these cute soulless creatures? And obviously the answer is, it depends. But for the sake of this video, let's play into it and pretend we don't really know everything. It helps us cover all bases instead of being like, well duh, you obviously have to know this thing, what are you, a LARPer? Nessos are obviously still being made. Matter of fact, we're getting new Nijigasaki ones that are also fixing Mia Taylor's god-awful bangs. Oh my god. You can literally play tic-tac-toe on this. Ikizu Live's also getting them, Hasu's getting them, the musical is not getting them. They're not dead, so why does it feel off? Why is one of the big things I associate Love Life with downgraded to now just one of the things I associate Love Life with? I'm pretty tapped into the Love Life community on multiple platforms, and I felt a shift. Although it could just be my algorithm for you page, but who knows? This is gonna sound extremely obvious to some of you, but the answer lies in diversity. Why's the camera on me? You know the saying, eggs in multiple baskets? It's a term where you disperse your assets across multiple different areas instead of just one designated location. It's a way to cover all grounds, and in case one of your locations or baskets dies, it doesn't mean all your eggs are gone. Content creation is a good example. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. That's a lot of baskets, so say if Twitch goes down, I still have my YouTube. It's very smart, it's very efficient, and for a business, it's almost damn near essential. It's to the point it can be classified as multimedia in the right eyes. Limiting yourself to just one avenue of content, either be a genre of music, merch, games, language, or you know, the way you tell your story is not something a lot of businesses and even your fans would appreciate. Businesses like expanding, killing the environment, make sure to get paid 100 times more than you do. But that philosophy goes a long way and can be applied to anything. In the case of Love Life, that's exactly what they did. It may have started out small, but the impact has already been finalized. My mindset was skewed. It wasn't that Nesos died, it's just that something else was created to tip the scales, and Nesoberis' presence as a result was shifted. Now what was that something else? Well, simply more plushies. What kind of plushie merch did Love Life have back then? The only notable ones I can think of are the cursed-looking ones and the ones with the little adorable black eyes. I wouldn't exactly, in my mind at least, classify it as, say, something I directly associate with Love Life. In the time since then, we've had Moipons, these fucking things, and say it with me folks, Kuripons. Or Fumos, I see the term interchanged, so I'll use both of them. Kuripons, which are produced by the Good Smile company, are these incredibly cute standing up plushies with, again, a very template-y design that can fit any Love Life character. Look at them, they're so cute, they got pudgy little legs, they look stupid as fuck. These Kuripons have been running rampant. People are taking them on adventures, traveling the world, doing oshikatsu, whatever they call it with them, myself included, because dude, they're so fucking cute. And similar to Nesoberis, they're becoming a franchise line. Despite being a 2020s thing and starring with Nijigasaki because they're the GOAT, they've gone backwards with creating Kuripons from Muse and Aqua, groups that came before Nijigasaki. And Kuripons aren't a Love Life exclusive. It wasn't like Love Life or Sega created them. They've existed before for other series, but Love Life has adapted it as one of their major products. They don't have any alternate outfits like for certain songs, it's just a normal outfit, but it gets the job done. You can't deny how charming they are. They make Kuripons of everyone except Saris and Izumi, although I'm scared for when Saris drops because I know for a fact my community will fucking explode. And listen, not hating on Nesoberis, but I can see why Kuripons have begun to take over the Love Life scene visually. There's an inherent more chibi human style to Kuripons, making them genuinely resonate with people. Some people will do a double take on Nesoberis and their soulless white eyes. That's some horror shit in the right perspective. And I think a lot more customization can be done with Kuripons. Obviously, Nesoberis have a ton of customization as well, but with the added benefit of more colors such as eye colors and more ways to express their face, it makes them a lot more funnier. It just feels more fresh too. Not to call Nesoberis unk and stale after 10 years, but okay, how do I phrase this in a nice way? And I think it's important to understand the generations of Love Life and what kind of plushies they got in their era. Love Life isn't just one entity. There's a reason it's split into different groups, and we have to treat it as such. I think that's asking a little bit too much for some people, but that's not the point of this video. As the generations have gone by, new plushies and formats have been introduced that would expand the variety of Love Life. I'm talking about merch, obviously, but if you close your eyes, you can probably think of new formats that Love Life has gone in besides the merch. And I get it, I reiterate this shit a lot, but if you really look at Love Life from the angle I have, everything is connected in terms of decisions they make. And you can even use what they do and what they don't do as a good way to navigate through your own life. But as you keep adding more and more stuff, the percentage or presence of other elements you once had will naturally start depleting. Or rewording it, the presence of new plushies naturally pushes back Nesos as time goes by. Y'all notice that reference? I'm on Love Life Twitter. Yeah, I know. And I see so many Japanese users posting their Love Life Kuripons. Not sure who's been liking or retweeting it. And also I see Ananmaigo Kuripon. There's just a lot of Kuripons, alright? I was kind of limiting it to Love Life, but bro, they were actually everywhere. I don't know if there's been any documentation in the merch scene or Japanese merch scene where a lot more people are analyzing what plushies people often bring outside or take pictures of or buy. I mean, I've been getting into Bandori recently and they also have plushies. I heard these are actually not part of the Kuripon brand, but they're also produced by Good Smile and they look identical besides the eyes. Like all due respect, I'm gonna call them Fumos if that's the case because they're literally the siblings. They even feel the same. Oh wait, this video was about Nesoberis. Well, in regards to Nesoberis, I think our question has been answered for the most part. Nesoberis are an iconic part of Love Life's history, and it's still really cool they've been retained for over a decade. It's a shame the Terras aren't being produced anymore. I'm pretty sure they were made to order, so yeah, no wonder, but they're still here, even if they weren't dominating the space they used to. At some point, there'll be too many Nesos, and if you add alternate outfits in the mix, you're creating a very filled up room. Of course, this is a very skewed viewpoint because it's only taken into account my experience. And the unfortunate reality is that I'm not in Japan, so I can't actually verify the presence of Nesos besides my online Cater 2 experience, which I don't know how valid that is. So I'm interested to hear if Nesoberis have still had a presence in your Love Life. Maybe you've only seen Nesos, and these Kuripons are a very rare anomaly. And if someone lives in Japan, help. Hey, everyone lives their own lives, bro. Who am I to say what's true and what's not? Too much fucking nuance. It does kind of remind me of Squaddle Festival though. That shit dominated the rhythm gaming sphere, but over time, different things came out that tipped the scales. Although for Sif's case, obviously it actually died, and that was a fit losing a ton of support and not having any fundamental updates that really innovated it, so not exactly the best comparison. Nesoberis are still being improved. Exhibit A, Mia Taylor's hair. I gotta be a little bit quiet for this since it's kind of late, but this is our very first video essay exclusive video thanks to Mr. Farragon. So if you're seeing this, you're either a member or you know, it's been like a week or so and it's been publicized for everyone else to see. This will usually happen once a month, and I should be sending the poll out for the next month's video. I usually try to get like a month advance, so I'm able to, you know, take my time with it and not rush it in anything sort of way like that. Either way, hope the 4 members enjoyed watching this. Thank you, Niki. Thank you, Cool Guy. Thank you, Mr. Farragon, and thank you, Marsh. I don't gotta advertise anything since this is a members only video, so all I can say is thanks for watching. Bye.